Okay, hello viewers. Today we are going to talk about theories of life. Means theories which explain how first life came into existence. To explain regarding existence of life, there are many theories proposed by different scientists, believed by different scientists. Some of the theories were unscientific, the rest of the theories are most accepted. In this small video session, I explain which theories are most trusted and explain the real involved in the origin of life. Okay? Come. The most ancient theory that explains origin of life was theory of special creation. See the word special creation. It indicates that all life forms, what we have been seeing today, all life forms were created by divine power of God. This is totally mythological belief and religious belief. It has no scientific proof. Hence, this theory of special creation is not at all accepted nowadays. Right? Next. Theory of panspermia. It states that life was existed in outer space. Life was existed in outer space in the form of resistant spores known as pansperms, like this. This is outer space in which living organisms were present as pansperms known as resistant spores. From that outer space, living organisms are transferred. They have transferred to different planets, including Earth. According to this theory, living organisms present on Earth came from outer space in the form of what? Resistant spores. That is called panspermia theory or theory of cosmogova. This theory is believed by some of the astronomers even today. So some astronomers believe in this theory even nowadays. Next, theory of abiogenesis. This name says you that living organisms were originated from non-living substances. Living organisms were formed from non-living substances. Most popular scientists, even Aristotle, Plato, Van Helmont, such famous scientists also believed in this theory. What the theory believed by them? Abiogenesis theory, which indicates non-living things were evolved into the living things. That means living organisms came out from non-living substances. Yes, according to the theory, non-living substances such as straw. Straw refers to dried grass, and mud. What are they? Straw and mud are examples to non-living things from which life, means living organisms, came into existence. This theory has no scientific proof. Hence, this is not accepted by modern scientists today. This is totally discarded. Next, theory of biogenesis. This is very important. Theory of biogenesis. It says that life comes from pre-existing life only. What abiogenesis theory said? Life comes from non-living substances like straw and mud. But the biogenesis theory says life never comes from non-living substances. Life comes from only pre-living organisms. Like this, the concept here is life comes from pre-existing organisms or pre-existing life. This biogenesis theory was experimentally demonstrated by a scientist, Louis Pasteur. Very important name. In NEET point of view, it has some sort of chance to be appeared. NEET point of view, that is important. Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur did not propose the abiogenesis, but he demonstrated and finally proposed biogenesis of life. Means living organisms are able to come from pre-existing living organisms only. How Louis Pasteur has proven that biogenesis is correct and he disproven abiogenesis. With an experiment, he proposed that life comes from pre-existing life only. Let us see with what experiment he proposed that biogenesis. Louis Pasteur has conducted an experiment with swan neck flasks like this. In NCERT, the word swan neck flask is not mentioned, but really with swan neck flask, Louis Pasteur has performed experiments. But as per NCERT, since the word swan neck flask is not mentioned, I am neglecting that word. Simply I say the concept what is given from NCERT textbook, right? He has taken two flasks. One of them is pre-sterilized flask. This is what? Pre-sterilized flask. Means this flask was heated up in order to eradicate any living organisms in that flask. And this pre-sterilized flask was sealed. It was sealed, in which he kept killed yeast. Kept killed yeast. In the same experiment, he has taken another flask which was left to air like this. This is unsterilized flask left to air, means it is not sealed. It also contains killed yeast. Killed yeast. Okay? Right. What are the two flasks taken by him? One was pre-sterilized flask containing killed yeast. Second one is the flask containing killed yeast, but it is left to air. Have you seen the way is present here? This is left to air. Right. After experimentation with these two types of flasks, after some weeks of experimentation, he came to a conclusion that from this pre-sterilized flask, living organisms were not found. No life was appeared in this flask. Means life did not come from this pre-sterilized flask. Life did not come from this pre-sterilized flask. Life came, or life was appeared, life was found in this flask. Yes, some living organisms were found in this flask. Why? Why not living organisms present in this pre-sterilized flask? Why only living organisms were present in this second flask? A simple logic. In this flask, which was closed from environment, living forms, whatever they may be, maggots or whatever it may be, flies, have no way to enter into this flask. Flies present in the environment, unable to enter into this flask because this flask was completely closed. There was no way. Since living organisms did not enter into the flask, no life was found. In this second flask, which was left to the air, from environment, flies entered into this flask in order to utilize the killed yeast as nutrient medium. Organisms entered this flask used to lay eggs. What are they? Eggs. From these eggs, new flies were hatched out. Here, living organisms were found in this way. Where the living organisms came from? These living organisms were produced from eggs. Who laid these eggs? Pre-existing living organisms, indicating living organisms came from pre-existing living organisms through eggs. In this experiment, what was proven? Living organisms did not come from non-living things. Only living organisms come from pre-existing living organisms. Okay. If non-living things has any ability, if non-living things have any ability, even in this class, what was taken? Killed yeast were taken. Killed yeast. Killed refers to non-living here. Yes, non-living. If non-living things have any ability to produce living organisms, yes, non-living yeast was placed here. From this non-living yeast also, living organisms would have been evolved, but it is not seen. Why only living organisms appeared in this flask? Because this flask was left to air, which allowed entry of living organisms into this flask, which produced next generation. Here, living organisms came from pre-existing living organisms, not from the killed yeast. If a killed yeast has any ability to produce living organisms, even in a pre-sterilized flask also, there would have been living organisms. But living organisms were not found, indicating non-living substances unable to produce living organisms. In such a way, Louis Pasteur has demonstrated biogenesis is correct. With this experiment, he gave death blow to the abiogenesis. Okay? Have you understood? This is important for NEET point of view. Louis Pasteur is associated to which experiment? Swan neck flask experiment. Swan neck flask experiment. With this experiment, what was proven? Biogenesis is proven and abiogenesis is disproven. Who conducted Swan neck flask experiment to propose biogenesis? Louis Pasteur. That's very important. Okay. Next one. In this theory, what Louis Pasteur failed to explain, what he explained and what he failed to explain. He explained that living organisms come from pre-existing living organisms only, and this generation of living organisms come from their pre-existing generation. So thus, one generation comes from pre-existing generation, this generation comes from its pre-existing generation, like that. Yes, we accept what Louis Pasteur has told, but if we raise a question, how ancient life came into existence? How first life came into existence? Louis Pasteur did not explain how first life came into existence on the earth. In order to explain that, two other scientists came into light. Their names are Haldane and Oparin. This theory is chemical evolution of life. Chemical evolution of life. It indicates life or living organisms come from chemicals. Which living organisms? First life came from chemicals. That is the concept in chemical evolution of life. You also can say this is a chemical origin of life. Origin of life. Right? This chemical evolution of life was proposed by Haldane of England and Oparin of Russia. These two names are very important. What are the two scientists' names contributed in chemical evolution of life? Haldane of England, Oparin of Russia. Here, in order to memorize their names, a shortcut is given, that is HERO, HERO. Here, in this shortcut, the scientists' names and the countries from which they contribute was involved. Can you guess? Here, H refers to Haldane, E refers to Haldane from England. Next, here O should be taken first. Oparin from Russia. So this code HERO suggests you that Haldane of England, Oparin of Russia have together proposed chemical evolution of life. Okay, what they used to say? In this theory, they have stated that first life came from organic molecules. What are organic molecules? Chemical molecules, such as RNA and proteins. Organic molecules such as RNA and proteins were produced into the first life. Where these organic molecules came from? These came from inorganic constituents. Inorganic constituents such as methane, ammonia, etc. So what they have stated, inorganic constituents were formed into organic molecules. These organic molecules were gradually evolved into the first life. This is the concept proposed by Oparin and Haldane. Yes, here this is first. Inorganic constituents are becoming organic molecules. This is what? Chemical evolution. Evolution of organic molecules. This is chemical evolution. From which? From these organic molecules, evolution of first life, it is considered biological evolution. Okay, very important points. What are the two stages or two steps in the congested story by Haldane and Oparin? First half is how inorganic molecules were formed into organic molecules. Second half tells about how organic molecules were formed into first life. Yes, the total concept here is first life came from organic molecules which come from inorganic constituents. Here, for conversion of organic molecules into inorganic molecules are formed into organic molecules. This conversion was induced by some forces, means conversion of inorganic molecules into organic molecules was happened in the presence of some forces. What forces? Changed inorganic molecules into organic molecules like this. One, high temperature, extremely high temperature, very important factors. Number one, high temperature. Number two, volcanic storms which contribute energy. Volcanic storms. And number three, reduced atmosphere. Reduced atmosphere. Under these forces, inorganic constituents were formed into organic molecules. From these organic molecules, first living organisms came into life. This was proposed by Oparin of Russia, Haldane of England. This is what theory called chemical evolution of life. See this? Life came from chemicals. Which chemicals? Organic molecules. Where the organic molecules come from? Inorganic molecules. Okay? This is most accepted nowadays. Chemical origin of life was supported by another scientist, namely Miller, Stanley Miller, with his experiment. Stanley Miller has proposed, yes, chemical origin of life was correct. Who proposed the chemical origin of life? Hero, the code hero, heparin and oparin. Haldane and oparin. Haldane and oparin. And what they have proposed, that was supported by Stanley Miller from America in 1953. So what was Miller's experiment? How he supported chemical origin of life, that can be explained in the coming video session. Okay, thank you so much. If you like this video, subscribe and share with your friends also.